What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. A couple disclaimers. One, I'm sorry if you hear the background noise in the gym while I'm filming this. Nothing I can really do about it. Number two, I'm trying something new with my hair, so if you don't like it, I apologize. I'm trying to figure out. I recently saw Endgame. Please don't spoil it in the comments for people that haven't seen it, but I saw Captain America and I was like, man, I really want that hair. So this is me trying something new. I know I need to grow my hair out, but yeah, that's what's going on there. Today, there are actually a couple things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to start with a comment that I received recently that I decided to put on Twitter just as kind of a joke, but there was actually a really strong response and a really good response and really nice response to the post and to the comment. And I noticed myself, I do this, when I post something on social media and there seems to be a big response, I like to talk about it in a video because I think it's just pretty obvious, right? If you post it on social media, a lot of people respond to it. There's obviously interest in that topic. So the first thing what we're going to be talking about is this comment that I received of this guy that he saw, a transformation picture of mine, and his comment was that I looked like a deflated sumo wrestler.
I'm so sorry!
I'm gonna be completely honest, when I first saw this comment, I really wasn't even mad at all because, like, it's true. Like, there's no denying that's what I look like. That's what loose skin makes you look like, right? If you think about like a big balloon that's been deflated, it kind of looks like loose skin. So for me to be upset about that, I think would be kind of silly. I mean, obviously, it's not a nice comment. It's not nice that the person said that. The person that said it was trying to get under my skin. But I think that when you don't let stuff like that bother you, right? When you don't let little comments like that bother you about loose skin, it really does take the power out of the person that's trying to hurt your feelings or make you feel bad. If you're just like, yeah, that's what I look like. What's the big deal? I mean, like, it is what it is. And so I think the reason that I post stuff like this and I share, these stories on my social media is because loose skin it's talked about it a good amount, but usually when it's talked about, it's talked about either like, somebody saying I really, really dislike my loose skin and, it's making me sad or whatever, or it's talked about in a way where it's like, I'm not happy with my loose skin, I'm going to be getting surgery. And all of those things are great. And I'm not saying there's a problem with that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, there are thousands and thousands and who knows, maybe even millions of people that are living with loose skin that are not going to be getting the surgery, that are not going to be getting rid of it. And I'm one of those people. And so I think if there's a way that you can talk about it in a way that makes it a little bit more normal and just a little bit more like it's not the end of the world, it's not that big of a deal, it's not going to kill you, like it's just skin, I think there is power in that. And I think there's a place for that on social media. So if I'm that guy that does that, so be it. I have no issue with that at all. Again, like I said, a lot of the comments are really, really positive on my Instagram posts and people saying, really nice things. But one of the more popular kind of comments are like, man, I wish I had your mindset about loose skin, or I wish I was so positive. And I'll say, like, I strive to be a pretty positive person, but I don't think I'm any more positive than anybody out there. Like, I don't think that there's anything special about me that makes me more positive. I think for me, one of the biggest things with loose skin is I've accepted that it's a reality for me. I have completely taken hold that this is not something that's gonna go away unless I decide to get a surgery or something like that, right? Like, naturally, there's no way to get rid of this, so I don't feel like it's something that I need to really hide all the time. Again, I'm not walking around with my shirt off, but I don't mind sharing that with people. I don't mind, having my girlfriend look at my body with loose skin. Like, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't scare me, because I've let people know this is what I'm dealing with. It's not something that I try to hide, and I think that taking ownership and owning the fact that you have loose skin is a really big, step forward in, just being able to be okay with having loose skin, and then, being able to make jokes like this and not let those little things, bother you when people might say stuff like that. And I will say that I definitely deal with more comments and more, mean-spirited remarks than somebody else that wouldn't be, on social media, that doesn't have like a YouTube channel and, Instagram followers and stuff like that. So I think I even deal with it probably more than other people do. And it honestly doesn't bother me, especially when it's some random person on the internet. They don't know me. They don't really know what I've been through. So to let that bother me would give them so much more power than they really deserve. For me, it's so much better living with loose skin and, with the after effects of losing the weight than it was being morbidly obese. Because even if you want to look at it just cosmetically, right? Even if you just want to look at the body, loose skin is something that you can hide, right? I'm able to put a shirt on and you're not able to notice that much. I'm able to wear pants or whatever. Yeah, you don't see it that much. But when you're morbidly obese, there's no hiding that. No matter how hard I would try with my big black shirts, or how hard I would try with my oversized clothing to try and hide the fact that I was 360 pounds, like, you can't hide that. So even if you're just looking at it like that, which I think there's so much more, the fact that I'm able to run now, the fact that I'm able to jump now, the fact that I can tie my shoes without being tired, like, there's so much more that goes into it. But even if you just want to look at, the size that you are as a person and the fact that you can hide your loose skin, if that's something that you want to do, it makes it completely worth it. But yeah, I just wanted to share that little story with you guys because, again, it's just life. It's one of those things that you got to deal with, and if you are planning on losing a massive amount of weight, loose skin is probably something that's going to happen. Everybody's different. Genetics plays a huge role. So some people might have more than others. Again, everybody's different, but it's probably going to be something you're dealing with if you're losing, over 100 pounds. So hopefully, that message will help you out a little bit. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about actually came into my mind when I was getting a massage. I know that sounds weird, but I spend a lot of time thinking about, obviously, this YouTube channel and helping people lose weight. And so when I was getting a massage, I was like kind of thinking of ideas for videos and just thinking about topics. And the thing that kind of started like going on in my head was I wanted to talk about one of the things that I think is literally like the biggest mindset thing for me that has helped me lose weight and like has helped me keep the weight off. And the thing that came to my mind was, I think one of my biggest traits, and it's one of my, I would say, biggest strengths, is that I'm a very like obsessive person. So when I get into something, I get really into it. It almost like completely consumes my mind. So a couple of examples, when I got into drumming, when I was in 10th grade, it became everything to me. All I did was watch drumming YouTube videos on YouTube. That's like, I would just spend hours studying drumming. And this was before I could even afford a drum set. I couldn't even, like, I would literally watch videos on how to hold a drumstick, and I would watch videos on how to play a paradiddle, which is a rudiment in drumming. And like, I would watch videos before I even ever had a drum set because I was that excited, and that's what I would do. And then it was the same thing when I decided to start losing weight. I would watch videos on videos on videos and do everything I could, do all the research that I possibly could to learn how to lose weight and everything like that. And then again, it happened when I got into bodybuilding. And then again, it happened when I got into CrossFit. I started, obviously, tons of videos. And then right now, it's actually happening with me with the running that I'm doing because I'm training for the marathon. So I've noticed that I am a very like obsessive person. Again, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it has been one of the biggest, like, I would say, strengths that I've been able to use in my weight loss. One of the things I always tell people when they're trying to lose weight, that always ask me the question, what should I do? One of my first answers is always do your own research. Because if you do your own research, you don't have to rely on somebody else to give you answers. So when you have the answers for yourself, you're a lot more confident moving forward. And for me, it's with all of those things that I explained, drumming, running, CrossFit, all of those things. I did so much research that I felt, again, not like I'm an expert in all of those things, but I felt like I had enough knowledge to at least carry me through and get me to a point where I was, competent in all of those different things. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the saying fake it till you make it, but it almost kind of applies to this because like a lot of people, when it comes to like a big life thing that they want to learn, right? Whether it's weight loss or running or whatever it is, right? A lot of people will feel so like they don't know anything that the thought of even starting kind of scares them because they feel like they're here and they're trying to get all the way here and they have no idea how they'll ever get there. This is going to sound super cheesy, but every expert started as a beginner. Like when I started losing weight, I literally knew nothing about nutrition, about exercise. I was terrified to go to the gym. All of that stuff was true about me. But I took the first step and then the second step and then the third step. It's all about just taking those little steps and trying to improve every single day. And so like that's what I'm doing right now with running. I'm trying to do everything I can to learn as much as I can about it because I want to be competent at least enough to feel like I can do it myself. One of the most common things I've noticed with weight loss is that people have, paralysis by analysis. What that is there are so many different programs and shakes and diets and all of these things with weight loss that people feel so like weighed down by all that they're literally, because they're looking at all of these options they have, they can't make a choice. So they end up making no choice at all and not making any change. Like the best advice I could give someone when they're trying to lose weight is to just start. everyone knows that they shouldn't be drinking soda. Everyone knows that they shouldn't be eating fast food all the time. Like, there's really simple changes that you can make to just start and feel like, okay, I'm making some progress, and then you can take the next step and the next step and the next step, and then eventually you'll get to a point where you actually feel competent and you feel like, oh, I actually know what I'm doing, and it's because I actually just took that first step and wasn't looking at the end goal that I'm trying to get to. I just looked at that first step that I needed to take, and then you were able to take that step, and then you can make the second step. Now, hopefully that was able to help you guys out. I know this was more of like a mindset-based video, but I think that it's incredibly important when it comes to, you know, massive weight loss or dealing with loose skin or whatever, anything that you're kind of dealing with right now. Obviously, I think there's a huge, it's very important to be focused on, you know, your calories, your exercise, stuff like that. It's very tangible things, but I think the intangible when it comes to the mind is very important. And I would say, honestly, probably a little bit more important when it comes to, you know, massive weight loss. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say about both the topics that I talked about. So if you want to leave a comment or anything like that, I would love to hear from you guys. If you have any questions or anything like that, again, leave a comment. Hopefully I'll be able to answer some of those questions. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look up if I am.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.